Good morning, Mr. Danner's classes. So today's going to be a little bit different because what I want to do is make sure that you're just watching this video so I can walk you through the assignment. And it's one of those situations where I'll be available for support, but I want you to focus in on just watching the video and making sure you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. But I want to start out with something that's going to be important, and I'm going to cover this in class and really encourage everybody to take advantage of this resource. Very first thing, and I'm going to post this on Google Classroom, is that we're coming up on election season. And for all of my students who are close to or going to be of voting age, meaning if you're going to be 18 by election day, you can vote. It might be the first time you can vote, but you can vote, which is November 3rd. So if you're going to be 18 by November 3rd, you should really consider thinking about making sure you're registered to vote and then actually learning about the issues and the candidates and voting. So we are going to spend some time actually in class going over all of this stuff, but I wanted to just get you guys started because the deadline to register to vote is coming up very fast. I think it's October 5th. So the first thing I wanted to show you is if you are to go to, and like I said, I'll link this, but go to jcpssocialstudies.com. Pretty easy to remember, jcpssocialstudies.com. And hopefully it'll load faster than this. Obviously it's not going to. I do have the tab up, but I just wanted to type in. All right, so first trouble, X that out. I have it up already. So basically, if you go there, it'll bring you to a home page, and at the very top, there'll be Election 2020. And it'll be on any of their pages. So if you go to Election 2020, it'll talk about qualifications to register to vote. You must be a U.S. citizen and a Kentucky resident for the last 28 days before the election, which basically means October 5th. Must be at least 18 years old by November 3rd. Can't be a convicted felon. You can't have been judged mentally incompetent or have voting rights removed. That's not going to affect any of you. No, and you can actually, if you've been a resident of another state and you're registered to vote there, you can't vote in Kentucky. You have to vote in that state. So you can actually click and check like, am I registered, and look at all that info. Anyway, I'm going to go through this in class, but I just want everybody to be aware that this resource that the district created is just out there. It has all the steps to register to vote, to request an absentee ballot if you don't want to go to a polling place. Like for me, I live in Indiana. I got my absentee ballot in the mail this week. And just all the steps for voting and how to go about doing that. So we're going to go over this in class, talk about it, talk about the issues, talk about the ballot itself. But I'm really going to encourage everyone. I obviously will never, ever tell you what to do, but I would really encourage everyone to get registered and to vote on November 3rd and in every election after that. But we will talk about that. But so my goal is just to make you aware and to talk through some of the issues, not to sway you, but to talk through some of the issues. Anyway, that's the first thing. Now, I'm going to use my first period U.S. history as an example. There's an assignment that I'm going to walk you through today. And like I said, I'll be there as support for anybody that needs it. But we're not going to have a live class session going over this due to some factors in the city. So if you open up, go to classwork on Google Classroom, and this will be up. It's called Corroborating Evidence. There's a Google Doc that will have your name on it. And it's all about this idea of corroboration. And I'll tell you on this video what it is, but I'm also going to post this video called How to Corroborate Sources in History. So basically what corroborating evidence is, it's finding more than one piece of evidence that's going to back up your claim. So it's great to say, okay, I believe this, and here's a piece of evidence to back up that idea. Great, you have evidence. The more pieces of evidence from the different sources is going to be, that's going to make your argument stronger. So corroborating evidence is evidence that supports your claim. So, and corroborates and supports another piece of evidence. So there's going to be some examples here, and then we're gonna talk about what that means. But I'd really encourage you to obviously watch this video, but also watch this one, and go through this assignment. So what this assignment is, and I'm just going to go through like 2 examples from the assignment. It gives you 2 scenarios. The first one is about a locker room that got vandalized. And the second scenario is about a lunchroom fight. And the goal of the scenarios is to look at all the evidence, and there's very little of it, but to really determine which evidence corroborates the story better. So I'm going to go through scenario A, and I'm going to just show you how to go about doing this. Any answers I give on this video, please, please, please feel free to put on your document. So scenario A is on the night before the big game, before your school's team, the Panthers, and your biggest rival, the Bears. The Bears' locker room was vandalized. So your rivals, the other team's locker room got vandalized. Many of the players from the other team, the Bears, are accusing members of your team of doing it. The Panthers, who's your team, they say they couldn't have vandalized the locker room because they were all out for pizza when the locker room was raided. So they say the locker room was raided at this time. We were all somewhere else. And that's their excuse. Obviously, your story without evidence is not always going to be enough, right? So we need evidence to defend them. So account A, the Panthers quarterback, your team's quarterback, his sister agrees and says, yeah, they were all out having pizza. And she'll say, I saw them there. They were all having pizza together. They could not have vandalized the locker room. Okay, great. That's one piece of evidence. Statement B, the other team's running back, the other team's player, also said that he saw all the Panthers out for pizza, and he says that they could not have vandalized the locker room because he saw them all out for pizza the night the locker room was vandalized. So what I'm asking you to do is, that's question 1. How do both account A and account B corroborate the Panthers account? How do they support the Panthers account? So I would just ask you to type in an answer, something like this. Both accounts give evidence that the Panthers were out for pizza the night the locker room and you can say something like, what an eyewitness is. That's a witness, somebody who saw the event. Eyewitnesses say they saw the Panthers out for pizza. That's how they both corroborate the Panthers account. So you can use that, because both of these pieces of evidence back up their claim that they were out for pizza. They support that claim. They corroborate that claim. Now here's the question that is a little bit tricky. You had the Panther quarterback's sister saying, yeah, they were out for pizza. Then you have the Bears running back, the other team's running back, saying, yeah, they were out for pizza. Which one do you think is going to make a stronger case? And I'm going to stop and just let you think about that for about 10 seconds. All right, so this is one that I'm actually going to give you, because I want to make sure that I explain this. So hopefully you thought about it and came up with an answer, even if you didn't type anything in there. But having like your friends or your family back up your evidence is great, but that's expected. And this is a good piece of evidence. The Panther quarterback's older sister saying that she drove them to the pizza place. Yeah, that's good evidence. But when you can have like somebody who isn't your friend, isn't your family, who's actually a rival, who doesn't like you, also saying, hey, yeah, I don't like them, but they're telling the truth. That's going to be a much stronger piece of evidence. So the piece of evidence that makes their case stronger is going to be account B. And it's basically, I'm asking you to explain. Stronger how do we word this? Basically something like when you can get someone who is your rival to support your claim, that is going to be stronger than friends or family. All right, so that's kind of the whole idea behind scenario A and corroborating evidence. So it seems like apparently the Panthers did not vandalize the Bears locker room because not only did one of their sisters say, yeah, I drove them, but the other team is like, yeah, they were absolutely not there. So they there's no way they could have vandalized the locker room. So that's scenario A. So now scenario B, I'm just going to read through the scenario and then I'm going to encourage you all to finish this and turn it in. So your principal is trying to figure out the truth about a lunchroom fight. The fight was between Justin and Max. Justin is a new student. He's shy and he does not have many friends. So Justin's brand new, shy, doesn't have a lot of friends at the school. Max is popular. He's been at the school for a while and he's known for being very friendly. But they both got into a fight, the shy student and the friendly, popular student. So there's 3 accounts. Basically, Justin saying that Max started it, Max saying that Justin started it, and Jamie, who's a student who did not witness the fight, but she saw them interacting before lunch. And she talks about the way that Max and his friends treat Justin. Now, here's something that I will tell you. Account A, B, and C, not one of them is going to tell you what actually happened. So you're not looking for the right answer here. You're looking to determine which evidence do you think is stronger. So you're not looking for the right answer because there is no right answer. Keep that in mind. So just make sure that you can back up your answers with evidence from here. So what do you think is the most likely scenario? I have my opinions. I'm not going to say them here, but you basically go through what does each account say about who started the fight. I'll tell you, account A says that Max started it, says it right here, Max started it. Account B says that Justin started it, and account C does not say. All right, so then it's just going to ask you, can you determine who started the fight? And you tell me, can you determine? I would say probably no. Explain that answer. What does account A, account B, and account C, how do they all say about how Max and his friends treat Justin? And then based on these accounts, what do you think? Can you determine how Max and his friends treat Justin? And then explain your answer. And then why do you think Jamie's account helps you build a stronger case than you had Max and Justin's account? So just go through, answer this. None of these, there's no right or wrong answer to any of that. Okay? So I don't want you to think that you're looking for the right answer. You're just looking to explain your thinking. That's going to be huge in this class, explaining your thinking. And some of you showed me pretty well that you could do that when you wrote your claims last week. So that's all I'm asking you guys to accomplish for today. Once you've done that, make sure you hit, and I don't have the student view, but there's a turn in. It might even be up here. I think it might be where the share button is for me, but there's a turn in or submit button. Make sure you've done that and get that turned in. I just like every other assignment, I put the due date as 11:59 on Sunday night. I'll start looking at these at that point. So, and then the very last thing I'm going to tell you, and I'll post this on Google Classroom, is that if you ever need anything, support, questions, comments, please, because I think people did a really good job of reaching out early on, the first 2 weeks of school, and then people just kind of stopped. I am always here. I'm always going to help you out. Just know that is what I want to be doing, is supporting you in any way that I can. So if you have questions, concerns, comments about the class, about anything going on in the city, just anything that's going on, please reach out. There's my email. I'll post this. There's my Google Voice number. You guys should have this. Lots of you have sent me messages. Keep doing that. And again, everyone just stay safe, make good choices. And, if I don't see you today or during my office hours, I will see everyone in class, in live class next week. So have a great day, have a great weekend, and yeah, I will see everyone soon. Bye.